back to putting the foot on the cup.
Okay, so I say before you make any real decisions, you want to like look at something and see if it's got the proportions that you like. So if I put this here and I get down here and I really have a look at it sideways and I think, oh, is that what I want? And if it's not, if I want it to be narrower, then don't be afraid to go ahead and cut it a little bit more, make it narrower, and then get it the way you like it before you commit and fasten it to the pot. But I'm liking that, and I'm going to say, okay, that's good. So I'm going to draw a little line on both sides of the coil foot. And if you want anything to go exactly back where you had it, you can make a little line that goes all the way down, and see how that little line, I can match it back up. It keys it back in so I know exactly where I had it. That's especially if you have something with an irregular shape, but that's another trick later. Okay, so for now, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to score this, and this is in drawing. When you make hash marks, you make lines in one direction. So you can do that.
Could you use this thing too?
You can, if it's a big surface, but all those is going to be kind of hard to fit in there. It depends on whether or not you're going to have to be working on something smaller. I'm going to do the same thing here, make lines in one direction, just to get things started. Now that's not creating a slip in place yet. So what you need to do is add a little bit of moisture here, and you got to be careful. So I reached in there and I got the sponge, and I'm going to add just enough so that it goes into those cracks that I made, and do the same thing here. Now I'm going to do the opposite direction, and what it does is it's starting to loosen up that clay and create a slip, because I've added water into the cracks that were going one direction, and then I do it the other direction, and that in place starts to create a slip. We'll be doing this a little later with other projects where some people prepare a slip out of the same clay that they're using so that they can
just brush it on.
Brush the slip right on, it's like you have your cement sitting right next to you and you just add it. So this is how to make the slip in place. See how gooey that is, right? It's gooey and it's moist. And right now, while it's still pretty moist, let me see if I can find, there's that key that I was going to put it on, and there's the other side. So I know I'm going to go right back where I had it, where I liked it, and I'm going to go on there. And now, here's the trick with putting anything on so it sticks. You need to score both surfaces while the clay has moisture in it. And those two surfaces ideally should be the same water content. And then once you've scored both and attached them, you apply a little bit of pressure so that there's a fusion, basically like this. One side doesn't know where the other side ended and the other side begins. They think they're the same piece. And that's the point of attaching any two things with clay. All right, so that's a really crude start of a bowl, and we will refine it a little bit more later, but that's how to get started with a basic pinch pot that you eventually want to refine into a more elegant tea bowl. Thank you, Carl.